Yes.
Happy Independence Day,
Happy Independence Day,
Philippines.
Philippines. Mahal kita sa inyong lahat. Kasi gusto ko sa'yo.
Shayo.
Sa'yo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Half a Nice Day podcast with your host, Janine.
And Joshua.
How are you doing?
I'm really good, actually. First of all, my hair is very long now. So that's why I'm wearing a cap. And,
it is, actually.
And on that side,
could see,
Janine's new hairstyle is out. So we have done something with both our hairs.
That's right. I'm not too sure if they can tell because I'm wearing the same top, the same colored top.
Yes. English.
The same colored top.
English color.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I am going back to my roots of hair colors. I used to have my hair colored fully in pink, lavender, gray, whatever color under the sun.
Yes.
And I don't know, I just felt like getting back to my old self, to my old mermicorn hair self. It's for those who don't understand what that is, it's a cross between a mermaid and a unicorn. So it's
because Pride Month.
Okay. Sure, just put everything all together. But I think I'm slowly getting back to it because I'll probably want my hair to be a little bit colored on our wedding day.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
While Janine's doing something with her hair, I'm balding, so I'm doing something nice for our wedding as well, I guess.
I've gotten him a couple of things to help regrowth of his hair.
Speaking of which, just today, I took a polar plunge, which is also
is that gonna help with
scientifically proven to increase testosterone, and which will also increase hair.
Are you memorizing?
This is a script I'm gonna do in my TED Talk.
Is there a teleprompter behind me which you're reading off of?
Sorry.
Which also helps.
I'm trying to be sciencey, but it doesn't look like it's working for me.
Sciencey, not scientific.
Sciencey.
Okay.
Say it with me. Sciencey. Everyone? Sciencey. Okay.
Gosh, where is that from?
I don't know. It just came.
So yeah, he took a polar plunge.
Polar plunge is the right word to use. You can call it whatever you want. Ice bath.
He ordered,
swimming.
Speaking of ice, how many kilograms of ice did you order?
So I had to call the supermarket twice. That's how much ice I ordered. So initially, when I researched online how to do a polar plunge at home, it said 3 kilos of ice is enough. I'm like, okay, that's enough. I fill up the tub and I put in the ice, and it still wasn't
enough.
Right. And that's due to the scorching heat of the UAE that we are currently living in. And I'm like, I had to order another 4 kilos after that. And it wasn't even really cold after that. So
he kept saying that. It's not even cold. By the time that he got in, all I could hear was screaming. And I'm on the other side of the house, which is in the office space. And all I could hear was like, ah, ah.
So she's a liar, everyone. What actually happened was I closed both the doors, so I didn't want to disturb her working time. And I just got into the tub and I did manly shrieks and manly breathing techniques, and then,
those are manly shrieks.
Like Jason Momoa, Dwayne The Rock Johnson would do on an occasional basis. So that's actually what happened. But I think it's because both the doors were closed. It might have sounded differently in another area of this house, which is also science because noise.
It's sciencey.
Yeah, sciencey because it's sciencey because noise travels faster than light, and it was you know what I'm trying to say.
No.
Everyone knows what I'm trying to say.
No,
I don't have to explain myself.
No one knows what you're trying to say.
You don't know what you're trying to say, maybe.
No, I know. All I heard were unmanly shrieks.
No, it's the door, guys. It's the door. I've.
So it was cold enough for you to let out manly shrieks.
Yes, it was cold enough.
Okay.
8 kilos of ice is the golden number when it comes to having a polar
during
plunge.
the summer, but colder times would be.
Yes,
maybe
I
2
can
or
save
3.
a little bit more money during that time.
Yeah, and water.
And water, yes.
So good luck with their Diwa bill.
I don't live here yet, so Janine is taking on the full burden of the Diwa bills in this household.
I divide that with you. So
I'm charging all my devices here. I charge my power banks here. Go home, give it to my family. Like, guys, free electricity in this. Please go crazy. Please go crazy.
God.
I fill my 2-gallon bottle of water here. Drink it at home. You know.
He does, and he had the audacity today to let me know that my water is almost empty. He's like, your water gallon is almost empty. As if like, do you want to fill it up? How about you fill it up?
Are you okay with drinking tap water for the next few days until My Dubai comes back and delivers a new bottle?
Oh my Lord. Speaking of summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting into the peak of Dubai heat.
Mm-hmm.
So now is the time for people in Dubai to actually go out of Dubai and start spending summers elsewhere, because it's going to be unbearable.
Yes, I hear you.
It's going to be hellish for the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into that, let's talk about the Happy News of the Week. Bling! I missed that, actually. It's been a while since we talked about Happy News
of the Week. I think because we've been miserable the last few months.
And we're just getting back to our normal selves.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
We're what is that? Soul searching.
Yeah.
Soul searching. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm lost.
We all are.
Yes, we're all missing both.
So the Happy News of the Week is...
Hit me.
There is a man who lives in Bogota, Colombia. He's a garbage man.
Bogota is also a character in Money Heist, for those of you that know. Okay, proceed.
Okay, thank you for that. His name is Jose. Let's say it in Spanish. Jose Alberto Gutierrez. He's been collecting books that were thrown away for about 20 years. And with those books, he started a free library made up of 25,000 plus books. So it's a free community library that anyone can come into, they can learn. And, you know, he started this because he realized that the local children who have dropped out of school started working early and they can't afford books. So whatever he found, I guess, from being a garbage man and looking through trash and all of those books, he collected them. So he named it La Fuerza de las Palabras, which translates the strength of words. How cool is that?
Very nice.
Super cool.
The age-old saying, right? One man's trash is
another man's treasure.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
So yeah, education is a treasure. It's
Are you
something
like
that can never be taken away from you. So really, kudos to Mr. Jose Alberto.
And I'm pretty sure his work did not end when he was even collecting the garbage, because I'm pretty sure he had to clean it up, sanitize it.
True.
And do
because if it's in trash, then must be a little bit worn out.
How relevant these books are. Maybe if it's thrown for a reason, like, do people still want to read it? I don't know. Yeah, Don't judge a book by its cover, right, guys?
Exactly. How many sayings and puns were you able to bring
Guys,
into
I've been
this
reading
story? No, but it's true. Like, some people just throw away books that they don't need, I guess. Like maybe people who have been moving out of their house, or people who have been moving from papers all the way to Kindles and, you know, all of these technology that pops up, and books take space. So I guess some people just
declutter.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Decluttering.
Speaking of books, I wanted to share something as well. What was that?
I have no idea.
Okay. Sorry, I got a work email at this time. Okay. So, since Janine brought up the whole books thing, I also wanted to bring up the most high valued library in the world is opening in Dubai. You might have seen it, guys, on your daily commute to and from work. In Al Khail, where there's a building shaped like a book, and you're thinking, is that a building shaped like a book? Or is this a heat stroke that I'm facing?
What? What are you talking about?
But everyone must have seen it by now or heard of it, because it's quite,
you can see it right across our house.
We can actually see it quite across our house, and it is a sight to behold. And it's actually opening up on June 16, and we're recording, what today's? June 12? June 12. And it's just a quick guide for everyone. So everyone was asking, will entry be free? Do you know if it'll be free or not?
I don't know.
It will be free.
Cool.
Yes, so apparently it will be free, but you have to register on an app called MBRL app, and you have to put in a slot when you want to visit.
Ooh, that is super cool.
And
I
then
would love to visit.
Yeah, we should actually.
I would I'm one of those kids who you bring me to a library or a bookshop, and I can stay there for like the whole time.
Yeah.
Not anymore, because I haven't been good with reading, but I really want to bring that back. Maybe this will spark my
I know. It's very near us. Reading. Yeah, it's very near us as well. And I would love to also go check it out and have some quiet time over there. Maybe do some writing, some reading, Yeah. The usual. And in addition to books, the attraction has around 73,000 music scores. What's music scores or music stores? But it says scores here.
Scores. It's your musical notes, the scores that are written down. Have you seen someone playing a piano and they have a paper that they're reading off of?
Yeah.
Where it has the notes.
Yeah.
That is a musical score.
I know.
You said stores.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a typo from college times. 75,000 videos, 13,000 articles, and more than 5,000 historical print and digital journals within an archive covering 325 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's really cool.
All for free.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dubai.
And it's a 7-story building.
It's huge.
Over 1 million books and 6 million research theses.
Wow.
Thesis.
Wow.
Is thesis a word? I don't know. I need to read again.
I think theses.
Theses?
Yeah.
Theses.
SES?
It's spelled
thesis.
THESES.
Yeah. Because
theses.
Because thesis is one.
Yes.
Theses.
Theses. Research documents.
Okay. Whoever's an expert in
comment down below.
Thesis. Please let us know if we're saying it right or not.
So yeah, it's open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. But closed every Sunday.
I am super excited for that. So for all of the geeks and nerds and book lovers out there, there's another place for you to go for free in Dubai to beat the heat outside.
Exactly. I wonder if they'll have cafes and stuff. That'll really enhance the experience for sure.
Right? I'm guessing. Yeah. Super nice. I want to register.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
16th. Stay tuned, guys.
Well, another happy news of the week for us Filipinos is we're celebrating the Araw ng Kalayaan, which means
the time of
the day.
What is it? Araw?
Araw ng Kalayaan.
Our Independence Day.
You just knew because
it's today. Yeah.
It is. So we're celebrating 124 years.
Wow, isang 24.
Isang 24. You're saying 124.
Yeah.
Isang daan.
Isang daan.
Isang daan means 100.
Isang daan. Okay.
Yeah.
24.
Okay. You went from Tagalog to Spanish, but that's cool because what we're celebrating is actually our independence from
the Spaniards.
So they've colonized us for what?
333
plus years. And thank God we got out of their hands. Actually, yes, we don't want to be colonized.
We've been colonized thrice. So 3 is the magic number if you noticed.
So we've been colonized a lot of times. Tell us what happened after gaining independence from the Spaniards, because Philippines did not fully gain their independence in 1980. What was that? 1898. June 12th of 18. Can you imagine 1800s?
That's like
1898.
People would go out in like boats and
That's crazy.
have like diseases like yellow fever and stuff, which is like fully eradicated now, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, or the
Science.
Spanish flu, whatever it is.
Yeah, and Spanish
So-
flu.
You're right. We were colonized a lot of times, and breaking free on June 12th, 1898 wasn't really breaking free, or we as a nation aren't really truly independent, because right after that, the American forces came in and occupied us all the way until 1946. So technically, Americans helped us to gain freedom from the Spaniards. And then they're like, psych,
Yeah, the old switcheroo, huh?
psych,
Yeah,
we're gaining control.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, but we still declared ourselves independent from the Spaniards. So then after that, in 1946, July 4th, which is also coincidentally
America's
Independence Day, we
4th of July.
4th of July, we can also celebrate gaining independence from the Americans. So, but truthfully, we do recognize June 12th as our Independence Day. So, in 1898, the Spanish fleet was defeated by the Americans in Manila Bay. And after that, of course, they gained control. And then in between, the Japanese invaded the
World War
Philippines
II, yes.
as well. So they invaded the Philippines, captured Manila. All of the Philippines was now...
Which year was it?
1941.
Yeah, so World War II.
So in between, so Americans took over, but then Japan came, 1941. They're like, Philippines is ours. Manila is now captured. And then in 1944, October 1944, American troops came back. They're like, nope, Japan, Philippines is ours.
Right.
And then they came, recaptured, and then on the 4th of July, 1946, we got out of the hands of the Americans.
So the last people to colonize the Philippines were the Americans?
Americans.
Okay.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
We were truly an independent nation. 1946, Manuel Rojas was the first president
yeah.
of our independent
But he was only
nation.
in reign for like 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea.
Until he died of a heart attack.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
So Manuel Rojas. But I'll say a couple of facts as well when I was researching.
Please.
Which is super cool because
I
our
want to
flag, the Philippine flag, which was unfurled in the 1898, which is when we recognized the Independence Day, hasn't changed.
Oh, wow.
So how loyal are we with our flag? So
Or lazy.
it's a nice design though.
It's a very nice design.
Do you know
like,
what it means?
Yeah, the rising sun
Okay.
and the 3 stars that represent Luzon,
Luzon
Mindanao,
and
Visayas.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we have the 3 stars. It symbolizes the big island groups.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have the sun, which has 8 different rays,
Yes.
which represents 8 provinces that took up arms against Spain. Okay. And
I
then
didn't know that.
the white triangle stands for equality. The blue stripe stands for peace, truth, and justice, and the red stripe for patriotism and valor.
Nice.
Okay, look at how meaningful our flag is. This is why, since 1898, for 124 years, we never thought of changing it because it's perfect, no?
Yeah, don't fix what's not broken, right?
Exactly.
Really nice flag. It's really good as a tattoo design as well. I mean, you can see all these people with the Philippines flag tattoo. I'm like, that looks dope.
Yeah.
My brother even has a
mixture of the Philippine
and
flag.
the Indian flag, yeah,
Yes.
as a tattoo.
Super cool.
Very nice.
But just make sure that you don't have it tattooed upside down.
how can you tattoo up? It's just sunsetting then instead of
No,
rising.
because if you have the triangle on this side, if you put it upside down, if the flag is upside down, then that means the country is at war.
If a flag is upside down, it means the country's at war.
So if they have the flag on a flagpole,
yeah,
let's say,
yeah,
and it's upside down, that means we're in war.
no way.
Yeah, it's just like when flag is half mast, we're
Mourning, or
mourning. If the flag is upside down in the Philippines, it means we're in war. We're at war.
Oh, so my brother
Fun
cannot
fact.
do like dives and stuff.
He can't do handstands.
He can't do handstands. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't go to Australia. It's upside down, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why are you so dad jokey today?
Because of the polar plunge.
Okay, let me
Woken me.
continue my facts. Okay,
I really like this. I'm learning a lot because I didn't prepare.
I'll prepare for you. Another thing that actually happened in 1898 is the first time that we actually sang our national anthem, which is Lupang Hinirang, or The Chosen Land as a translation. So it was originally titled as Marcha Nacional Filipina, or the Philippine National March, which was in Spanish.
Right.
And then we had the Filipino version of it sung in 1898, first sung in 1898, and it was composed by the great Julian Felipe.
Julian Felipe.
Yeah. So super cool. Two things happening in 1898. First flag was unfurled. First and ever flag was unfurled. And our Lupang Hinirang, which is, you know what? Some kids, instead of calling it Lupang Hinirang, they call it Bayang Magiliw.
Yeah, I call it that.
Bayang Magiliw, because it's the first two words.
Yeah.
You know what we need?
No, I know what you're thinking right now.
Last week, I quizzed Josh. I started singing Lupang Hinirang.
We were going to the gym, okay?
We were going to the gym, and each stanza or each couple of words, I would sing it and I would look at him. I'm like, what do you think this means? What do you think this means? And he kept...
Because it's not modern day Filipino that...
It's not. It's proper...
Yeah, it's proper Filipino, yeah.
Formal Filipino.
No, proper Tagalog. Apparently, Filipino is what they rephrased it to a more modern, like, because they've inputted some Spanish, they've put some English, they throw it in, they just call it Filipino right now. That's what I read.
But Filipino is a national dialect or the national language of the Philippines. So,
but it was never called Filipino. It was always Tagalog.
Yeah, people were like Tagalog. Yeah.
Tagalog.
How many dialects do we have? We have a lot, actually.
I think 600,000, if I'm not mistaken.
How crazy. 600,000? What are you saying? No, 100 and something or 50 something. I don't know. A lot, I guess.
You know, I was doing some research yesterday, just very lightly because I was trying to multitask. But apparently, Philippines was actually very heavily influenced by the Indians. So this is pre-Magellan stuff, and because it was a very, very popular trading port, and like the Malays, the Indians.
So this is 1500s, I guess.
Yeah, like
before Magellan came in.
Yeah, maybe even like dinosaur times, I guess.
1500s, imagine 1500s, because that's when Magellan came in, late 1500s.
Yeah. You know how he died?
Lapu-Lapu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cebu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cry of...
A lot of things die in Cebu, like my dignity died there, remember? Inside joke, but...
You wanna be sharing today?
No. It's not about me. It's about the country that I call home, so...
Right. And we love the Philippines.
I really do. Like, I always tell this to Janine, like, and I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but before actually till now maybe, that I'm really passionate about going back to Pinas. A lot of people give me crap for even saying that. They're like, oh, you know how many Filipinos are trying to get out of the Philippines and you're trying to come back. Now I don't know so much because of the new president and what's his intentions, but I don't know. I always felt like I should be going back there and giving back in some shape or form.
Yeah, it's because you love your country, right?
I love my country. I love the people there. I love the environment. But yeah, it was also very true that they all had one valid point, saying that I'm in Philippines with Dubai money.
Exactly.
So I don't know if like what I'm doing right now, if I go to Philippines, will translate in terms of my income over there. But
imagine tax
is a real pain over
else.
there. Yeah, commuting.
We talk about fuel charges here and how it keeps on increasing, but imagine how it is in the Philippines and elsewhere. It's It's crazy.
Yeah. India's still okay, actually.
Yeah?
Because they still buy from Russia.
Oh.
Yeah. They have a very strong
Relationship.
political ties with Russia, and they still buy their fuel from Russia. But rest of the world, especially UAE, like, wow, guys, come on. And it's going up from here on out, yeah?
Yeah, that's what they said, right?
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't be expecting any decline in terms of fuel charge, which sucks because we're not just talking about cars and our commutes. We're talking about everything else, delivery, food, everything around the world touches.
No, the UAE is basically a very how do I say this? Like a country which is very heavily dependent on road transportation.
Right.
And it can affect everything. Like restaurants, or not restaurants, like online stores which I used to deliver from, where they had like a 50 dirhams minimum spent to get free delivery. It's now like increased to like 75. So of course cost is rising. But the funny thing is there's still the same number of cars on the road.
Yeah.
So people, and I don't know about companies if they're trying to compensate their workers, saying like, okay, you know what, here, get a 10% raise maybe because of the whole inflation that is going up. Yeah, the hyperinflation and everything. I don't know, coming out from everyday workers' pockets like Janine and myself. So it's really...
So it's tough. It's tough, but we're still blessed.
That's true.
We're still blessed because we're nowhere near starving. We're nowhere near anything else. So
yeah,
thank God for that.
Yeah, we still have... We can still survive, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, now back to the good news again. Back to our country. Sorry for switching it up a bit, but yes, where were we?
We were talking about languages earlier and how we have so many dialects in the Philippines. But this is a fun fact, actually. English is more widely spoken than you think in the Philippines. But we talked about this a couple of episodes ago, how Filipinos are so good in English. Like, even if someone who is not well educated, someone is off of the streets, or like you go to the Philippines and anyone can converse as a foreigner, anyone can converse with you in English, and you won't feel isolated. Unlike other Southeast Asian countries, I told you when I was in Thailand, like even in my own hotel, a couple of the receptionists were a little bit clueless about what I was talking about, which I was a little bit shocked knowing how good Filipinos are in speaking English. But I digress. More people speak English in the Philippines, 52 million speakers compared to Australia, which is about 26 million.
What?
Crazy, right? So only the United States, India, Pakistan, and the UK boast more English speakers than the Philippines.
That's cool.
I guess India and Pakistan and the US because of the amount of people, like population-wise, and the UK, of course.
The Queen's English.
Yes, because they will try to argue the fact that they are the original English speakers and not the Americans. So, yeah, just those 1, 2, 3, 4 countries are ahead of us.
But that's crazy, huh? But I guess it also comes to show with the amount of call centers that are being built in like very big cities and around Philippines as well. Even when I was in Cebu, Cebu, they have better English than people from the mainland.
They're amazing.
It was so fluent.
I think it's because of their dialect and how it's pronounced. Like a couple of words are pronounced.
No, but Cebuano is so hard to understand as a language. Like, I don't know. Like,
Bisaya.
Bisaya,
I don't know how to speak Bisaya, but I would love to speak Bisaya. Because I always feel like when my friends around me speak in Bisaya, I'm like, wow.
It's so different though. Like I always think...
There's some words that I can understand, but it's super different. And even as a Cebuana, someone who speaks Bisaya, it's difficult for them to speak Tagalog if they've lived in Visayas their whole life, because not a lot of people speak Tagalog there.
Yeah.
And like if you grow up,
can you do like a trial and see like how do how people from Visayas talk? Like, do you know, like, because it's very like yeah.
I mean that's Philippines as a nation,
right? Yeah, that's actually
right?
true. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it because
I have a lot of foreigner friends who say, why do you guys seem like you're singing when you're
talking?
I've
gotten that. I don't know.
Just
a lot of
We're just
happy people.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the home of Jollibee, so
Speaking of Jollibee, in every single country in the world, McDonald's is always the leading fast food chain, except for the Philippines. Because Jollibee,
Jollibee.
it's just super famous.
Man,
Everyone
Jollibee is
loves
the
Jollibee.
weirdest restaurant, though. I'll tell you why.
Why?
You have fried chicken.
Okay.
Okay, then you have which is what? Fried chicken is what? A universal staple, maybe? Or is it like
American?
a Western dish?
Yeah.
Perhaps. Okay, so you have a Western dish. Then you have like a mango pie, which is also influenced maybe by the Western people. Then
No.
pie and I don't know. Okay.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, you won't go to like I'm gonna go to Bali and have pie, right?
Okay.
Okay. Then you think about it. And then there's what else is there? Do they have? I don't know, but it all comes
Because there's
down.
like buko pie in
Yeah. Okay. Then you have
Philippines.
palabok, which is Filipino.
Oh yeah, I love Jollibee's palabok.
See, I like Jollibee's palabok because I don't like thick noodle palabok. I like the thin noodle palabok, and Jollibee does justice to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Then you
But
have,
they put anchovies in it as well.
yeah. And they put the crispy chicharron at the top
Yeah.
as well, standard.
So good.
And then you have something like the what was I gonna say? There's something on the dish. Burger steak.
I was just
What
gonna say
what the
burger
hell is
steak.
that?
It's just your typical burger.
Yeah.
They remove the buns and they put gravy on it.
Okay.
Like all of the goodness that Jollibee has in one plate. The rice with the burger, just the burger patty
Yeah.
with your gravy and some mushrooms.
Yeah, some 1 or 2 mushrooms. And then at the end of all this, you have spaghetti. Like who decided, you know what? This is a Filipino fast food chain with like American influence.
Maybe it
I
started.
guess, and some
maybe it
Spanish
started when
influence.
Americans were in, and we were being occupied by Americans. What? Can you quickly Google when did Jollibee start? If it's within the 1940s,
You know,
then
he's one of
yes.
the richest people in the world, right?
I guess because like his
Not in
brand,
the world,
like
sorry,
there's
in
a branch of
Philippines.
Jollibee almost everywhere. Can you remember the queue in Dubai Mall when the first Jollibee?
Oh, it was crazy. It was like they're giving free money, and I'm like, I want to queue in this, and you just realize it's for a yellow and red bee food.
The
and
queue
then,
was like lasting for an hour.
no, so it founded in 1975
Okay,
in Pasig City.
Yeah. Way over when the Americans. But look, the American influence and the Spanish influence and the Japanese influence and Chinese, all of the nations who have colonized us, their blood still and their cultures and everything else still
Dribbles
runs
down. Yeah.
through the Philippines.
And you can see that from how much Philippines is influenced by Western media. And even, so Philippines and South Korea are also very strong allies. You can see it. Like, if I'm not mistaken, South Korea's #1 tourist destination is going to Philippines, right?
Because there's a lot of South Koreans in the Philippines. Like, a lot. There's
1 million.
very big South Korean communities in the Philippines, similar to Indians, similar to Chinese. Like there's just
Malaysians, yeah, you name it.
these
Everyone
big
is there.
pools of different countries,
Yeah.
group and nations within Philippines, which is quite cool because you get to see a lot of like mix of cultures, and we're very welcoming. We're very hospitable as it is. We're just like, come here, colonize us. Who wants to be next?
Who wants to be
We're here.
colonized?
We're just such happy people that we are just going through life with a smile on our face.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and it's beautiful and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, since we're in this topic, I know you have a lot more to share,
Yeah.
but what you said actually ties up to what I was actually researching when it came to this episode, because Filipinos are very happy people, and the main and everything boils down in the Philippines culture is down to family.
Right.
So do you know this term? I just found out about this today actually, which makes a lot of sense. Sandwich generation.
No.
So currently, a lot of Filipinos, I think from what I read, like there was a full study done saying that Philippines is one of the countries with the highest population of the sandwich generation. I'm like, what the hell is the sandwich generation? Like, is it something that they want to eat? Is it something you can order in Jollibee? But apparently, okay, so it makes a lot of sense. Okay, let me just try to find that key point which I read. So so there was a study done. It was called a study on Filipino values by the National Commission for the Culture of Arts. Sorry. And in 2021, identified a total of 19 values shared by the most Filipinos, like what they all had in common. Of course, you can think of the normal stuff like their resilience. There's something called kapua. Kapua?
Kapwa.
Yeah, which is
Kapwa, it's like together, like
togetherness.
yeah.
Like, yeah, together we fall, together we rise. Yeah, basically. I don't know what I'm saying. Then like faith as well. Of course, the number one Catholic nation in Asia. Third in the world after Mexico and something else. Maybe
Spain.
Brazil. Maybe Spain. I don't know.
Yeah.
But third in the world. Can you imagine? Like in a predominantly Muslim continent, right? But on top of the list was family. Because, Fast and Furious. Dom. Family never gets left behind. The whole country of Philippines is basically Fast and Furious, I guess. So what is the sandwich generation, you may be asking yourself at this moment. You also might be thinking this. It was first coined in the University of Kentucky. KFC now. Dude, I'm on fried chicken after this. Jollibee, KFC. Okay, sorry. The sandwich generation refers to a batch of adults who take care of their aging parents.
Oh, okay.
While taking care of their young children.
Right.
Thus
So
the term sandwich, yes, you're
together.
sandwiched in between
In
two
the middle.
generations, and you extend your support to both parties in a financial and emotional manner,
Look,
right?
sometimes even more. Like my family, you have my sister, you have my mom, our
Yeah,
parents,
yeah.
you have her children, but you also have my lola, which is like 4 generations in one household.
That's not a sandwich, that's like a shawarma wrap right now, you know?
A burrito.
Seriously, it's like a burrito because you have the rice, you have everything thrown inside.
Yeah.
So it's
and
really,
that's how it is in the Philippines, right?
yeah. It's really how it is. Like, you can really see it. Like, even Janina and I, we are in the same situation right now. We don't have kids, of course, but we are looking at our own financial future and our family planning in the very near future while taking care of our parents and our grandparents and our family back home in Philippines, our family back home in Lebanon, our nephew who we never met, we're somehow paying for his college. I don't know what happens in our families, but it is something that is really taking Philippines in a negative way, because the parents right now, like, let's just say if Janine and I have kids,
Okay.
and we have our parents as well who are taken care of. All our money goes to basically for our kids and for our family, our parents basically, which is also not the best way. And it's a whole wake up call right now for the Gen Z people, because they're understanding this. Like, I need to be very financially stable and have a lot of financial literacy so I can actually manage these two parties while still taking care of myself.
Yeah, I think it's difficult because, as you said, because of generations and generations of this tradition ongoing, it's being shunned upon if you're not taking care of your parents, even if technically you're not obligated to, because again, parents did not create a life on this world for that life to take care of you in the future. Like, it shouldn't be.
Yes, I understand you. Exactly.
It shouldn't be that way. But because us Filipinos were just so tightly knitted as a family that, as you said, Dom Toretto, no family member gets left behind, even if that's your uncle of 2 degrees or your cousin here and there, or your aunt, your lola, your grandmother, grandfather. It's difficult to get away from that. But as you said, millennials, Gen Zs are starting to change that a little bit and starting to spend on themselves, starting to build their own lives, starting to invest. Because again, it just used to be as an OFW, because again, a big percentage of our population
So that also addresses this, yes,
are outside of the country. they would leave the country, they would leave their family's nests, but they would give away 90% of their salary, of their monthly salary, even if it's like super little, and leave nothing for themselves because they have to give everything back home to feed their parents, to feed their cousins, to feed their aunts, their uncles, who all live in one home together, which is sad.
Which is very sad as well, because like the whole concept of this OFW thing started because Filipinos could not find decent jobs in their home country. Like can you imagine, like I've seen maids in the UAE who are taking care of a stranger's kid instead of taking care of their own, which I'm not saying is wrong at all. Like that's commendable in my eyes, because
that's
it's
a
like,
sacrifice.
It's really a sacrifice, you know, like, and it also comes down to this whole sandwich generation. Like, okay, I can leave my kid because he will be with my mom while I go to Saudi Arabia, take care of a different family's kids, so I have more money to support my child, who then in the future is my insurance policy, which is also a wrong way of thinking, I would say. Because they think, okay, let me make all the money now, put my child through good colleges, through good schools, make sure that he has a stable job in the future, and then he can be my insurance policy when I'm a little bit older, right? So it's very weird. Like
it's a cycle.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle, and it doesn't leave them room for, you know, like, okay, let me put some money into my savings instead of me investing so much in my children. Let me also look out for myself in the future.
I think looking back at like the older generation, investments were not much of a buzzword that was being thrown around because all they could think about was just survival.
Exactly.
Like, what is
Survival
investment
of the fittest,
if your monthly salary is 1,500 and you have to give like 1,200 back to your family and 300 dirhams left for you for your monthly expenses, your house, your food, your everything else, right? So it wasn't really a word back then, but I guess now, as we said, millennials and Gen Zs are starting to veer away from that concept and starting to put themselves first and put investments
but
first.
What sucks is like we're trying to fix what the older generation has messed up, right? Like a lot of people say, oh, you know, when I was your age, I was married, 2 kids, had a house, had 2 cars. But I'm like, have you heard of inflation, dude? You know that minimum wage in the US hasn't changed in the last, X amount of years, while inflation has almost doubled. So the dollar value back then when you were living your best life is not the same as where it is now, right? A lot of people, especially Filipinos, since we're on that subject, are living paycheck to paycheck, which is also not the right way, right? Like they're just like in a vicious cycle again.
But it's not like they have a choice, right? It's not like they have a choice.
Like the moment it's like, you know, like that saying, when you ride a bike, the moment you stop pedaling, you will fall. So it's basically like that.
They just have
like
to
it's
grind.
Either all or nothing, right? All or nothing. Sorry,
nothing. They just have to grind every single day. But you're right. Like, we are fixing the previous generation's mistakes, and the same with Gen Zs. They will be fixing the millennials' mistakes.
Oh, that is true.
Next to Gen Zs, will be fixing the Gen Z's mistake. It's just that's how it is. We evolve as a nation, and we learn through our mistakes, I guess. Right?
You know what's funny? Like, just a funny thought that I had before you go on is like, they say, oh, you know, the children, they're the future. But they put like 60, 70, 80-year-old people in power. Have you ever seen like a president who's like 20, 30 years old? Like,
you can't though. 40 years old is the minimum.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who said?
The law.
The law?
Yeah. You have to be 40 years old.
Really?
And you have to be, of course, a Filipino national.
Oh, this is for Philippines, but
yes.
in other countries?
Yeah, I guess other countries have different rules.
But it's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It's like you put a guy who forgets half of his words when he's speaking in front of national TV.
Who are you talking?
Joe Biden.
Okay. That's
Joe
the US.
Biden.
Bing bong.
What does he say after that? Bing bong.
I don't know.
Joe Biden buy me dinner. Or something like that. I forgot.
No idea.
We'll put that clip over
I just
here.
know Bing Bong. But yeah, I guess they have to be at a specific age. Not super old, but of course have accomplished some things in life in order to rule a country. It's a big
honestly,
thing.
I'm not like, guys for presidency, we have Gary. Like, who the hell is Gary? Like, obviously, you want someone who has accomplishments, but a lot of people are accomplished, but I don't think they really want to go the politics route.
It's messy.
Super messy.
But a few are chosen, right?
I would love to rule Philippines. Guys, make me president, and you'll see, like, wow. You know who's going to be my vice president?
Wow.
Wow.
Who's going to be your vice
I'm
president?
glad you asked.
Mm-hmm.
Erwan
What?
Yusuf, baby. You know that we be cooking.
Cooking what? Well, how are you going to solve the problems of Philippines?
Tell me a problem of Philippines and
The
I'll tell
debt.
you. Debt?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you how I'm going to solve. How much money is in debt?
I'm not going to, I don't know, billions.
Billions?
Yeah.
I have a solution. Print more money. Joshua for president 2026? When's the next election?
2028.
2028.
No, 6 years? 8 years.
6.
Dude, yeah.
20-something, Jess. You're going to put that as a thumbnail. You put that, I approve this message. I'm Joshua Dice and I approve this message.
Guys, please don't make
You know
the
what?
same
Let's
mistake.
see. Let's see. We'll put a poll actually on Instagram. We haven't done this in years. Who would you rather have as a president of the Philippines, Janina or myself?
Oh gosh, sure. Do it.
I'm gonna do this. Like, we're gonna get this clip cutted, and we're gonna put on Instagram with a poll. Who would you rather have run the country of the Philippines? Joshua, who's passionate about the land, who eats Jollibee once a week, who gives back to my Filipino community in some shape or form by thoughts and prayers, or Janine, who's basically,
Who can speak fluent Filipino?
you don't need to
Who
learn.
just told you all of the facts
You just
about
said Philippines
Philippines?
speaks more English than
Who
Tagalog.
actually lived in the Philippines?
I lived in the Philippines.
For what? 2 months?
1 month, but that's besides the point. My 1 month in Philippines was your 4 years of Philippines.
Okay.
Or mine was
Sure.
even more.
Look, you can do all the talking. We'll just let them vote.
Let's go. Let's go,
Yeah.
guys and girls.
They can
Yeah.
they can see from my heart and my
Just a
eyes.
disclaimer, if you don't vote for me, I will kill myself. So my life is in your hands. Your turn. What is your closing statement?
How has this become a presidential debate? Okay, a couple more
Wait.
things.
What I will also do, if I was Filipino president, I will get rid of this whole OEC crap.
Oh gosh,
So
please.
now you vote for me. You will
Please.
vote for me.
I will vote for you if you let that out.
Okay.
We're having such a massive problem. I was just showing Josh a video of the Polo Dubai office. It's crazy. People are queuing from like 4 or 5 a.m. There's a massive crowd outside, and people are just trying to get their hands on an OEC document, which is an overseas employee certificate that you need. And as an overseas Filipino worker, you would have to get that OEC document for you to successfully exit the country when you visit the country.
And literally, it's just a number. It's a number,
it's
right?
it's a paper.
No, I don't even print the paper. It's there in the system. Like, literally, I just take a picture on my phone of this number, like 1340.
Oh, really?
It's nonsense.
Oh, okay.
When you showed me the video a while ago, I'm like, is this a One Direction concert? I'm like, wow, the crowd is crazy.
It's crazy, and it's sad because now that the bans in the Philippines started to be lifted because of COVID, of course, normally and naturally, people will start going back to the Philippines.
Especially with summer break.
And this
right
is why
around
the
corner.
ticket prices are so expensive. But regardless, the process of getting it is just so archaic that you can't do it online. You have to do everything in person, and someone would have to look at your contract with your work and verify that it's correct, and then put it in the system. And then from there, you can request online for the document. And whenever you change your employer, you would have to do the whole thing again. And because I'm getting into a new job and Joshua has a new job, we both have to get our OEC done.
And we have to literally wait in queue for like 4 or 5 hours and pay a fee of 10 dirhams. You know what? I'll pay for everyone in the UAE. Just let me go.
Okay, Joshua for president. If you get that,
Joshua
if you
for
eradicate that.
President Joshua Dias.
Okay.
Erwan Husaf sitting right here on my lap.
Okay, dude.
Yes.
Okay, you done?
Yes. Okay, where were we? Learning about Philippines. I'm actually enjoying this.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many things that I thought I knew about the Philippines, and I'm learning.
And you want to be president?
So when I run for president, I will be knowing this.
Okay.
What's my opening statement? You know, Magellan? Lapu sliced him up.
Slapu lapu? Who's Slapu
Sorry, I just
lapu?
having comedian flashbacks of Will Smith. So, sorry.
Two more things. And the one is that people think that the Philippines is an island. People always say, oh, Philippine island. It is not. It's actually an archipelago. Because what is an archipelago?
A cluster of islands.
Very good. And how many islands do we have?
6 million.
We have 7,000.
300.
7,600.
641
islands. Very good.
Joshua for president.
What are the famous islands that we have in the Philippines that are actually world-renowned islands?
Palawan.
Very good.
Cebu.
Very good.
Boracay.
Yes. And Siargao. I guess Siargao is gaining a lot of popularity for surfers around the world.
Yeah.
But yes, we have 7,641 islands. Guys, that's crazy.
But apparently, like, a lot of them are still even in dispute between China wanting a few of those islands or some area.
There is an island that we're...
Just calm down, China. Like, relax, right? How much do you want? We have to censor this. We have to cut this part out, I think.
Everything. Lastly, and this I actually didn't know. When I was researching, I just saw this and I think it's really cool.
Filipinos are Mexicans.
Erythromycin. Do you know what erythromycin is?
The medicine.
Yes, the antibiotic is actually invented in the Philippines. So erythromycin, it was invented by a Filipino doctor named Dr. Abelardo Aguilar.
Doctor?
Abelardo Aguilar.
No, but a doctor, not a nurse? Because Philippines has the highest number of exporters of nurses.
Yes, correct.
Back to you, Janine.
That's true. Back in 1949. So just a couple of years after we gained true independence from the Americans, actually. So erythromycin has saved a lot of lives. And do you know what it actually cures as an antibiotic?
Stomach flu?
Respiratory tract infections, so UTIs, skin infections, chlamydia, pelvic inflammatory diseases, and syphilis.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of things. It is a famous antibiotic, erythromycin. How cool. Now it would be like erythromycin that's actually invented in the Philippines by a Filipino doctor.
You think in the box it says made in Philippines or no?
I don't think so. It depends on who distributes it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how cool, right? Good job, Philippines. There's a lot of things to be proud about the Philippines. People. What are you looking at?
Things invented in Philippines. Oh, yeah, erythromycin is the second. The first is bamboo incubator.
Okay.
Is it a band?
I don't know.
Major source of mangoes in the world. 91 million worth of exports in 2015.
Yeah, this is why I told you, like, Filipino mangoes, for me, are the best mangoes in the entire world. And Egyptians would dispute that. Indians would dispute that. And they would say, oh, no, our Alfonso mangoes are better.
Lebanese.
Or Egyptian mangoes are better. Lebanese would be like, no, ours are the best.
That was actually spot on. Even the PC chipset.
Yeah, but...
I don't know Bill Gates was Filipino.
What are you talking about? But thank you so much, Philippines, for being an awesome country.
Seriously, my heart is with Philippines, by Philippines, for Philippines.
Okay, sure, we will vote for you. Don't worry, Josh. It's okay. Don't have to try hard.
But really, like, I really urge everyone who ever gets a chance in the near future to definitely visit at least once in your life. You'll really see, like, oh, everyone comes like, oh, you know, Filipinos are the nicest people. Go see that for yourselves, guys. I love going back. back. I used to really go twice a year pre-pandemic.
Yeah. We were just talking about this, how we traveled a lot and now not anymore.
Yeah.
Because ticket prices are so freaking expensive.
It's going to go up now,
That's
right?
because of the fuel charges. So we better book our tickets before it goes higher.
We can book on the cheapest airline to Philippines.
No.
Yes.
Happy Independence Day,
Happy Independence Day,
Philippines.
Philippines. Mahal kita sa inyong lahat. Kasi gusto ko sa'yo.
Shayo.
Sa'yo.
We have to speak a little bit more Tagalog. Like, let them know. Maybe put in the closing notes in Tagalog.
Salamat sa lahat yung mga tingin yung podcast namin. Ang ganda yung connection sa natin. Mahal kita. Ang ganda mo.
Your president, guys. Josh.
President Josh.
Joshua Dias. There you go.
Like, imagine me, like, when I'm like, President Joshua's won the election and I have to give the thank you note. Ay, yung lahat, yung Pilipinas dito, salamat si...
Your sauna. Huh? What is a sauna?
Sauna?
State of the Nation address.
I thought it was like, literally sit in a...
I thought you wanted to be a president.
State
Guys,
of the Nation address?
please vote. Okay, now clearly you can see.
But yeah, Tagalog is my first language, so I'm saving it for
Talk in Tagalog.
Tell me what to say and we will close the podcast.
Tapusin na natin yung podcast.
Sige. Salamat sa lahat. Yung puso ko nag-feel.
Ano yung nag-feel? Tagalog. Anong nag-feel?
Yung puso ko, maraming mahal.
Maraming mahal yung puso mo.
Maraming mahal yung puso ko. And, tsaka, yung, how say people?
Tao.
Yung tao sa Pinas, lahat sa Pinas, sa Quezon, tapos sa Mindanao, tapos sa Cebu, yung puso, their puso nila, ang pure, ang kind,
Mabait.
ang gentle.
Gentle.
No, but jokes aside, I love Philippines. I am half Filipino. Janina's half Filipino. Together we are one Filipino. See, I'm a maths guy. Maths and science today. Sciencey and mathsy. Yes.
Okay.
And yes.
Any shows?
Any shows? As of now, no. Yes, actually, next Monday, if you guys are free, what is the date next Monday? Today's 12th, yeah? So, I'm so bad with my dates.
The 20th?
I actually have a show next Monday at Miss Wang's in Majestic City Hotel. Is that Majestic City Hotel?
I guess.
Miss Wang, which is a new materials night, so I'm going to be trying out my new jokes.
Nice.
Finally. So that'll be fun. I'm pretty sure I have some things other than that because I always get called last minute.
To fill in space.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. A lot of exciting things coming our way. We have another guest coming up in 2 weeks.
The next episode?
Yeah, the next episode, basically. Stay tuned, guys. We printed new stickers. That's nice.
Sure.
So we'll be distributing them at shows. And if you ever want one, just let us know. And if we're ever in the area where you guys are, we'll definitely hand it over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, support the podcast. Thank you for everything. Tell your friends about this. Please do share this episode to your Filipino friends if they want to have a laugh while still feeling patriotic.
Nice. I like that.
Yes. So thank you once again. Please do follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video because that helps us a lot with the algorithm. Listen to us wherever you get your podcast from. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, even Audible at this moment. So while you're listening to an audiobook, stop that and listen to this podcast. And yeah, happy Independence Day once again to Philippines, the country that we call our home. And on that note,
have a nice day. We love you guys.
We like you as a friend. Joshua for president.
Bye.
Bye.